Hi, welcome to this IT Services Training Team podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be introducing the QLS student record system. Within it, we will cover what QLS is, accessing QLS, logging in, navigating the QLS interface, searching for students, and an overview of a student record. You can find training documentation that supports this podcast at the following website: www.mmu.ac.uk/IT services/help guides. On this page you can see there's a range of training documentation. If you move down the page, you'll see the student record system section. The Introduction to QLS guide supports this podcast. QLS is the student records management system used within MMU. It contains information relating to admissions, enrolment, curriculum and assessment. QLS is primarily used to view, enter and amend information. Then other systems such as TARDIS and UniView are used to produce reports and analysis of the information contained within QLS. Since the adoption of QLS by the university, the software has been known by a number of different names, including Aggresso, Curadis, Distinction and Unit 4. All of these names refer to the same system. Before accessing QLS, please ensure you read the protocol for use, which can be found on page 2 of the Introduction to QLS guide. To get access to QLS, you'll need to complete an access request form, have it signed by your line manager and return it to the LRT department. You can download the form from the following link: www.mmu.ac.uk/SAS/PMI. On the right hand side of the page you can see there is a link to the user registration form student record system. You can then fill the form in, have it signed by your line manager and return it to the LRT department. Once you've done this, you should receive an email notification explaining that access has been granted. To log into QLS, you'll need to open an Internet Explorer window on a computer within the university network. Access to QLS from outside the university will soon be available via an SSL VPN connection. When this facility is live, we will update this podcast with the relevant instructions. Type the following link into the Internet Explorer address bar: https://curadis.mid.mmu.ac.uk. You'll see there's a number of different database instances available. To see current student data, we're going to connect to the live database, and at this point we'll need to enter our 8-digit university ID in. You'll also need to enter your university password and click Login. Once you've logged in, you'll see the QLS user interface. You may notice that your screen is slightly different to the one you can see here. For example, you might not have all of the tabs you can see in the top left hand corner here. This is because access to QLS is role based, so you'll only have access to the modules of QLS that are relevant to your job role. If you do have access to a particular module within QLS and it's not displayed, check that you have selected the correct workgroup. To do this, click the Options button in the top right of the screen, click Change Workgroup and select the correct workgroup that gives you access to the relevant module. If you still cannot see or access the modules you need, call the IT helpline on 4646 or email ithelpline@mmu.ac.uk to request access. To search for student information, we're going to use the Enrolments module. To open it, click the Enrolments tab. You'll now see either the Enrolment Management option or the Enrolment View option. This depends on your level of access. Either option will allow you to search for student information. Once you've opened the enrolment module, you'll see a blank student identification search screen. From here you can search for a student using a range of criteria such as surname, forename, date of birth, etc. The easiest way to open a student record is using the MMU ID, as this will directly open the relevant student record. Once you've entered the MMU ID, click the search button. The student record has now been opened. It is important to note that on the student identification screen, a student ID and an institution ID will be listed. The institution ID is the MMU ID that is found on student cards. The student ID is only used within QLS and has no relevance outside of the QLS system. If you do need to search for a student, enter your search criteria into the relevant field and click the search button. A window will appear displaying all the students that match your search criteria. If you want to see more information on any of the students, single click the student ID. If you are happy that this is the student record you are looking for, click select. This will open the relevant student record. To filter your search options, click the filter button. You can use any of the filter fields, select the criteria you wish to use, and select the value. Then click Apply. Your search results have now been filtered. And the student record has been opened. Once you've opened a student record, the following information is available from the tabs across the top of the screen. The Student Details tab provides general personal information about the student. On this tab you can see, for example, the exact date that a student applied at the university and then subsequently enrolled. You can also see if a student has changed their name, their previous forename and previous surname here. The Address Details tab obviously provides address information for each student. This can consist of term time address, permanent address, correspondence address and next of kin address. You can also find external email addresses and mobile phone numbers on this tab. The Enrolment Details tab shows the current course and occurrence that a student is enrolled on. Depending on your level of access, it is also possible to drill down and see more enrolment information, such as the unit and unit groups that a student is enrolled on, using the Show Modules button on the right of the screen. The HESA Student Details tab contains a range of information that the university is required to provide to the Higher Education Statistics Agency. The Quals and Entry tab shows all the qualifications that the student had achieved when enrolling on their course. And finally, the Student Stage History tab provides an overview of the stage codes that a student has progressed through. For example, most students will start off with a PR or Provisional Stage Code, then the Reg or Registered Stage Code, and then ENR or Enrolled. There are a wide range of stage codes, and a full guide to the stage codes can be found on the Business Support Services Group intranet page. The link is given at the end of this podcast. When moving back between the tabs on the top of the screen, ensure you do click the tab link, as using the back button can sometimes log you out of the QLS system. If you want to conduct a new search, press the Clear button. For information on IT training courses offered within MMU, please visit the IT Training Course Booking System. For information about this or other podcasts or general training queries, please contact the ITS training team. For QLS reference information, please visit the Business Support Services Group intranet page, and for any other queries, please contact the IT helpline on extension 4646 or email it.helpline@mmu.ac.uk.